What are you doing out? You should be inside. And put your turban on. Now. Easy on Cupcake. I was just about to go inside, once I ended you of course. Where's your turban anyway? Aren't you supposed to be leading by example? I'm exempt. And I'll make an example of you if you don't comply. Go on then. I'll comply, if you make me. I'll stand here and you make me comply, cockwomble. Do you know who I am? Kiernan. Well, I never. I wondered if we'd ever cross paths. Word is that you're cranking up like an old machine. You are finally getting comeuppance on being the old fart that you are. I'm not old. I'm in my mid-20s. Come on then. I'll dealt with bigger, meaner, fatter, drunker, uglier than you. Go home now and behave or you'll be ended. I'm not taking instructions from a nipper. Bite me. Honey, if I had lips the size of Texas I would. Are you calling me fat? I'm skinny as a rake. But you have a fat ego. And a greed for power. Bring it on, bitch. Well, that was easy. He was weaker than a nun's piss. Now for round 2. Doris, where are you?
Welcome back to part 2 of my presentation. My father, the man who invented the robots, has orchestrated some pretty nasty plans. Luckily for you, I'm here. As you have seen in part 1 of my presentation, I questioned the validity of some things in relation to the critters. To make you think. And thinking for yourself is not a bad thing, my friend. We are being given a narrative. And that narrative will continue if you carry on conforming to the current system. Within that narrative might be some small truths for us to get our teeth into and do our bit. However, long-term our population, the animal population and plant life, will be significantly reduced through savior damage, genetic engineering, etc. So, the question is, what could our future look like in the short and long term? The Save the World agenda promotes that the alleged discharge that eventually we will be taxed on could be resolved if only we conform to the salvation theory of reducing our discharge via imperishable living. The common enemy of humanity is man. In searching for a new enemy to unite us, we came up with the idea that discharge, the threat of warming up, water shortages, famine and the like would fit the bill. All of these dangers are caused by human intervention, and it is only through changed attitudes and behavior that they can be overcome. The real enemy, then, is humanity itself. The UK in particular have brought into the warming up ideology. We are a leading country in applying the imperishable livable ideology. See the YouTube channel DS to find references to all this information. If we agree to apply the proposed lifestyle changes, we would have to pay discharge tax on top of all our other taxes, and we as individuals would have to buy, trade discharge credits from dystopia-led companies just to access fuel. That is a necessity if we are to cook food and keep ourselves warm. Be careful what you wish for. Do not assume that warming up enthusiast groups are a grassroots movement. There are many kind and caring individuals who support them and feel they are exercising their democratic rights, but have you considered that behind them might lay an orchestrated New World plan, with a goal to halve the population in a short amount of time? For those people that survive, they will be controlled via the wobbly bobiles in the air. If you are boiling a kettle or cooking your meal, this data will be collected about your activity. Many people will likely be at home a lot, unable to work, as there is evidence that wobbly bobiles causes neurological, autoimmune and endocrine disorders. More people will be on benefits and further entrenched in debt, usury slavery. In England we have the universal credit. And those people today that have still do not comply with the important Savior and certificate will not get this universal credit. Schools and churches are currently the primary location for these center spots for the wobbly bobiles. Their health is and will be at significant risk from this. Should we want to escape from this totalitarian dystopia, we would not be able to, as the power supply needed to charge our electric transport would be turned off by the wicked ones. Our access to main roads would be difficult, as the new urban living pod boxes, Oops, I meant urban apartments in imperishable livable city villages are gridded with no access to B roads that would take us to the motorway. Right. That's it for part 2. Part 3 is on its way. Soon.